Hello, my beautiful Geminis. I hope you all are doing amazing. Today, I'm going to be tapping into the energies of those of you that are currently not in communication with your person. So, as per usual, I will be starting off with an oracle, and we can just clarify those existing energies with tarot. Alrighty, for my Geminis. Okay. So the first card we have for you guys is stability, okay? So this is definitely what you guys are thinking about. Your first card is usually the most powerful here. So I feel like for many of you, you're either thinking about the stability as in, the future of this outcome and how you guys can stabilize things, or you're thinking about the lack of stability in the past that potentially led to this separation. Okay, many of you want to see some sort of practical effort from your person's end here, and it could also be that you feel that it is not your job to either reach out, or it is not your job to, make the first move here. Because essentially, how I see that card is kind of like the King of Pentacles, someone who's not going to get off their throne, but they're willing to be open to a conversation. They're willing to nurture something that is stable, but the only thing that you're willing to nurture right now is something that's stable. Like if there's any room of uncertainty or confusion, I feel like you want no parts. Okay. It's like you've made a decision and you're standing firm in your stance here, is what I see. Okay, so we have two cards. I'm just going to take them one at a time here. Okay. Very interesting. Vision. Okay. So right now, many of you are focused on the fact that, again, you have a specific way, whether you want or how you want things to play out here. Okay. And there's definitely an energy of you seeing, like looking at the bright side of things, but you're well aware of what's in the unknown. It's not that, it's like a fine line between being optimistic, but also realistic, if that makes sense. So with that sun and moon energy, this could be symbolic for divine masculine and divine feminine, but there seems to be one side that's in their feminine energy a little bit more closed off, a little bit more discreet, just trying to get their emotions intact, and there seems to be someone else who's more or the opposing party seems to be the one that wants to put forth the action. So it could be a very contradicting dynamic at this time, is what I'm sensing. And your third card, change. Okay, so get ready for a transformative period here, Gemini, and I do feel like this change is going to come about after some sort of internal change that you make. So whether it's letting go of a thinking pattern, manifesting something for yourself, but also making room for what you're asking for, right? It's a brand new vision or a brand new outlook that you're having on this, that you have on this bond now, that is going to bring about change. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's see. For many of you, you feel like what was hidden from you or what was in the dark is going to come to light. But for others of you, it's almost like this person sees a little bit of them in you. Like they feel like you're like they're missing puzzle pieces, essentially what I'm picking up on with that middle card. Like you guys can have many differences, but it's almost like the similarities outweigh the differences, or the differences are what bring you together. It's something that your person is admiring about you, is pretty much what I'm getting here. Alrighty. So, pertaining to stability, something could have not worked out in your favor in the past, or you feel like in order to have attained stability in the past, your person had to do something that would require them to leave their comfort zone. That's essentially what the Judgment upright talks about. So in reverse, it talks about someone who was, where there was some sort of resistance towards change, or they were, again, having a hard time leaving their comfort zone. Okay, so it could be someone who wanted to know the outcome of a situation before it actually occurred, or again, someone who was kind of afraid, or there was some sort of intimidation factor here when it came to doing something new. Okay, so this doing something new could be different for many of you. It could be that this person needed to take the lead or they needed to make a decision. What's very interesting is your second card also reminds me of, the twins that you guys are, what am I trying to explain here? The symbol of Gemini, right? Like the twin card. So I feel like for many of you, it could be that you are kind of going back and forth in your mind, or you have two different perspectives about this bond here, or two different perspectives when it comes to the outcome, okay? The Hermit. Some of you may be involved with the Virgo. I do feel like this person is viewing you as someone where they have not seen this side of you before, or they're not used to seeing this side of you. Like I feel like there's this new side of you, this change that you've made. And again, that's why I feel like it's some sort of internal change, whether you don't respond to this person the same way that you used to, or whether you've let them know you don't view them the same way that you used to, that sort of thing. But these changes are very hard for this person to kind of like overcome here. It's like they're looking at it like it's an obstacle, right? With the Hermit, yes, internal change talks about being in an introspective period here. But for many of you, you feel like the thinking that's going on right now, the critical thinking, it requires you to do so in a space of solitude. You feel like you need to be alone, or you feel like you don't want external opinions or external factors affecting how you feel, right? It's almost like getting to the bottom of what it is that you want and what it is that you desire, and then deciding from there that you're not going to settle for anything less than. Your person is trying to decode you at this time. They're trying to figure out what you're thinking. They're trying to figure out how you're viewing the situation. They do have this energy or this sense that something that was in the dark came to light. So this could be letting me know that you found out something that you weren't supposed to find out, right, guys? In quotation marks, or they feel like you know something and they're not sure how you were able to find that out, okay? If that's not the case, this could be their assumption, right? So usually assumptions like this come about when you have a guilty conscience. Okay, change. Yeah, very excited for some sort of growth with you, because the change card is being clarified by the Empress. Some of you may be involved with a Libra or a Taurus here. But Gemini, I do feel like this person is viewing you as someone that they want to like start a family with, like someone they want to build with. This is a very growth-oriented card, right? They also feel like, you're like a master manifester, or you're like able to like attain things that you desire very quickly. It's almost like someone viewing you to have like alchemy in your hands is what I'm picking up on. So this person's definitely holding you on a very high pedestal. I feel like Gemini, right now you may feel a lot lighter, or you will be in the months of May and June, because I feel like the last 2 months have been very difficult in a sense of a lot of confusion, or a lack of structure. You understand what I'm saying, Gemini? So maybe there was more thinking about the situation, but not really sure what you wanted to do moving forward. I see you making more firm decisions now and standing by it. So for those of you, it's going to resonate with those of you that feel like you have been going through like a very contradicting period, a very confusing period. I do see that, becoming a bit lighter for you to handle. Yeah, take a look at that, guys. 2 of Cups. So this person feels like because they failed to do something that required them to leave their comfort zone, or they self-sabotage this connection, they couldn't have this beautiful soulmate connection and this, bond that they want so deeply, or they desire so badly here. With the 2 of Cups, that's someone who views you as their soulmate. Okay, this person could be taking a trip down memory lane, maybe remembering your first date here, or just like really good times that you guys spent together. My apologies, Gemini. I do have a sore throat, so I'm not trying to whisper, but it's really hard for me to speak a bit louder right now, so just bear with me here, guys. Again, 2 of Cups, I feel like your person is in this energy of, feeling like you're their soulmate. But more than that, they're upset that they didn't do anything to show you this. This is someone who still feels like you're their best match. This person probably compares you to anyone that they meet, or they're constantly reminded of you, right? Like whether it's love songs or whether it's just seeing another happy couple, it's like, it just reminds them of you. When they think about the term love or relationships or being together, they're constantly reminded of you, is what I'm picking up on. Okay, so what they're focused on right now is that their lack of effort led to a separation. They're very upset about the fact that they weren't able to get out of their own way, essentially, and attain what they really desired, which is a connection with you. The Hermit. Some of you could be taking spiritual baths, or you're in this energy of like cleansing your, you're in this energy of cleansing, right? Detoxing, or like, releasing in order to invite, some sort of change here. These three cards came out, so I'm not going to take all three of them, but I will touch on what this means. So what do we have? Nine of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and Five of Wands. Okay, so essentially your person is viewing you as someone who's in your element, very happy, and the Seven of Pentacles talks about an analytical period. It talks about someone who's observing what went wrong in the past and what they could do differently. In your case, I feel like what they can do differently or what they're thinking they can do differently is kind of like get out of their own way, or make changes that seem very difficult to make. So whether it's relocation, whether it's taking the lead, whether it requires them to be open with their emotions, and this is not something they're comfortable with, I think they're thinking about making change here, even though it seems to be difficult. It's like, okay, is the difficulty of the change going to outweigh the love and desire that I have for Gemini, or is the love and desire I have for Gemini and this bond going to outweigh how difficult the change is, right? And then as far as the Five of Wands goes, it could talk about competition. Okay, so this person could feel like you have a lot of eyes on you, you have a lot of attention. This could also mean that there is an energy of external factors affecting this bond here, whether it's external opinions, or your person feels like, like the generic example like I've given you guys, like, they need to move closer to you, or something to do with their job here. But it could be a lot of, other areas in their life that are being affected right now that are resulting in it, kind of them having a great, or facing great difficulty in making some sort of change, if that makes sense. I do feel like for some of you, during the time of this bond, you may feel like you've missed a lot of details that were kind of hidden in plain sight, if you will. There's also an energy of feeling that you could have avoided arguments here. The Five of Wands, they're fighting with wands, not swords. So it essentially means that sometimes you don't know what you're fighting for, or you feel like it was a very petty argument or a petty misunderstanding that could have been handled differently. Maybe you feel like things were kind of blown out of proportion, and that's what essentially resulted in this separation here. Okay, the Hermit. Yeah, wanting a brand new start here. For some of you, you may have children with this person, specifically a child that's a fire sign. If that's not the case, guys, with the Page of Wands, it talks about wanting a new beginning after a period of, introspection, after, going within, doing enough critical thinking here, wanting to create some sort of change is what I see, because the next card is the Empress. So if you get a message from this person, or a phone call, it could be something along the lines of them expressing their passion to pursue this connection for you. And it's definitely going to be from an emotional state, because with that Two of Cups, this is what's in their emotions, right? So essentially what they're feeling is you're their soulmate, and they're missing out, and they have a lot of regret surrounding what they weren't able to attain in the past here. So that could be what they're thinking about communicating to you, or maybe some of you are communicating very soon, and that's what they will tell you. The Empress. having a hard time holding back is what I see. This is definitely someone who feels like you have a weak spot for them. So in your, most likely future outcome here with the Empress as well as the Strength, a lot of thoughts pertaining to change, okay, wanting some sort of growth with you. So that's very much something they can communicate to you, but I feel like it will be a step-by-step process, because when you have the Strength card, there's still an energy of holding certain things back or not being all the way open, okay? So my wonderful Geminis, that is what I'm getting for you this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today, and thank you so much for your time.